Oh, how the heck do you wear these things? Hey, it's me, Ciscoe Morrissey. Here's what's coming up on Gardening with Ciscoe.
So start off.
Plant an alpine pot that'll stand up to cold temperatures and harsh conditions. Hendrikus shows us a landscape that offers a great alternative to a front lawn and a driveway you have to see to believe. Sample some local cheeses and learn why it's important to taste them in a certain order. Meet a friendly little Forsythia that won't take over your garden. We'll put it to the test. All that is coming up right now on Gardening with Ciscoe.
Hi, I'm Ciscoe Morris.
And I'm Meeghan Black. Welcome to Gardening with Ciscoe. You know what? It's cold, it's wet, it's dark outside. Who wants to be outside gardening right now? Not me. We're sitting inside today, and wait a minute. We're inside, and what is this?
Well, Meeghan, when I found out that we were going to be shooting in the Sorrento Hotel in the fireside room, I had to get gussied up for something this good.
Nice try. Yes, the Sorrento appears a bit formal, but really it's not. They're a century old, and they don't stand on that ceremony. They will welcome anyone, tie or not, and in your case, not.
Okay.
That is awful. Learn to tie it. Give me that thing. Get rid of it.
Okay, cozy as we are, we got to talk gardening now.
We can talk, okay.
All right, we're going to show you how to set up a container that is not only beautiful, but it can withstand the coldest elements.
With all the crummy weather we've been having and being stuck inside, I want to get out and dig in the dirt and have some fun.
Yeah, and you know, rock gardens are so fun to make, and you got the coolest pot here,
Isn't it
Meeghan.
a fun color?
I love the color, and you want a flat, low one when you make a rock garden. This is the coolest pot.
And these are little miniatures. Little evergreen miniatures.
Yeah,
I hope they stay miniature.
Yeah, I hope they do too. If they don't, this is going to look kind of funny. They will for a while.
So how do we start with this guy?
Well, I always put the rocks in first,
Okay.
so you kind of make your foundation.
Well, I kind of like have a little something tall there to butt up against one of the plants.
Oh,
I don't
like
know.
that. And you know, whenever I got one rock like that,
Yeah.
I kind of might put a couple. I found some neat ones searching through your garden, you know.
Right.
And so maybe make a 3 here. And this one, wow, it's
got
really
some
neat looking.
glacial look to it.
Yeah, so maybe on an angle like this or
Okay.
something. We can move these
Right.
if we want.
And then we start putting plants
let's
in.
put in. So we want to use the biggest ones first.
Okay.
And you know, hey, maybe we could put this behind it and park
there
that
you
baby
go.
right in the middle.
Okay.
That would look really
So start off
neat.
with a little structure there.
Yeah, I got to get the structure going.
Okay. Well, these
And,
guys have serious roots. Where do I want this guy now?
I think in right in the
here?
middle there.
Okay.
So got to break it up, and let's see. How about to counterbalance that? Maybe over here. Oh, I like that because.
So this is a little variegated osmanthus.
Oh yeah, isn't that
Polyosmanthus.
cute?
We just did a big guy of him.
Yeah, we did a big one on those just the other day, and we can raise the soil level a little too, but we'll have
Right.
to keep moving the rocks up. You know?
I know. I want to save these little rocks because I want to decorate with them.
Idea. Here, let's
So-
pour these in there too, Meeghan.
Okay.
Because we can make fun use of those. So this is about as many big things as we can almost cram in here,
Okay.
I think.
And then I got some steppables or some moss or stuff like that. And I thought what we could do is just break chunks of this guy off. Wouldn't that work?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
and
is
that
it coming
way,
off okay?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So we'll nestle him in between the rocks.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I love this little Raulia, this is called.
Isn't that a
Comes
little
from
variegated
Australia.
looking or silver tone?
Yeah, and it's a neat plant, and all these plants in here are all very drought tolerant. That's a little juniper right there,
he's
you know.
cute.
Most of the nurseries have real nice choices of these. And look at that, Meeghan. We can just rip that into chunks too. So this will be nice because we'll get some contrasting colors in there this way. Okay, Meeghan, I know what we need. A neat pathway through here. Those cool stones
That
you saved.
is a perfect idea.
Oh, that'll be neat.
You can create.
It'll be like a little dry riverbed going through there, you know.
We can have part of it
I
go off
like
this way and part of it go off this way.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a
Even
wide
around
path.
the rock, maybe
Right.
winding through here a little. Oh, cool.
I'm trying to make it a
looks,
thick
see,
path.
Now that looks so realistic, doesn't it? Cool! An elephant! I like that!
Working
that
through
is
the jungle.
The grass, let me tell you.
Yeah, don't want the boulder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to water him in and clean him up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Get out and experiment. Just go get yourself a few miniatures, some steppables, some moss. The rocks came with the plants, so that was just a little idea.
Wait till Erica sees this. She's going to really like this.
She's going to go, my elephant.
Now, if you build your own rock garden, remember, some of these plants prefer it a little dry. Don't soak the living tweedle out of them.
Which is kind of hard sometimes in this weather. And the elephant, you know, it's optional, but it sure did look cute, didn't it? I liked it.
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the fireside room in the Sorrento Hotel. Meeghan,
What?
Guess who stayed here once?
I don't know.
The Vanderbilts
No way.
and the Guggenheims. Do you believe it?
Probably
Wow.
sat here by this fireplace and had a little hot toddy. I'm sure they did. They did that back in those days. Well, our next segment is a real treat. It is a landscape designed and built by Hendrikus Schraven in the Golden Gardens area. Now, he turned the concepts of front yard and driveway inside out. This landscape is a real gem. The driveway has plants growing in it. The front yard doesn't have a blade of grass to mow. And the neighbors, they love it.
I think this home has the most beautiful landscape in all of North Beach. I love it. It looks natural. It's beautiful. A lot of native plants. I love the rocks. And it's not all the same. There's a lot of variety. I just love it. I enjoy walking by it.
Hendrikus Schraven designed and built this landscape in North Seattle. The goals were to save trees, create space, make it unique, and make it organic.
It's a really tiny area to make it look very large. And that's one of the main things, and then to turn everything into an organic process, and have all the combinations of wood and stone and soil and plants, and it becomes one whole.
First order of business, eliminate the traditional driveway front lawn combo.
There's too many gardens where, it's always the same. It's step to the front door, lawn, and a few plants, It's boring. So whenever you can do something interesting, especially making it look like this driveway doesn't really feel like a driveway. And it becomes part of the entry to the house.
This driveway, made of massive slabs of stone called Ocean Pearl, is actually drivable. Plants thrive despite the wear and tear.
So it's a driveway with plants in it. So this does have all the structural underneath it. In between the cracks is our normal soil. Then the roots penetrate so they can get down and actually survive. These slabs, as you see them, are not the most level in the world. So each individual one is set with a crane to basically, form the contours to make it back into the driveway. We did the dry stack walls with stone, which have the structural soil behind them, and then of course our essential soil, so we could actually plant all these trees that you see in the front garden on both sides of the steps as you go out.
Each beautiful detail serves a purpose. The driveway doesn't smash the cedar tree's roots because there's structural soil beneath it, not just fill. This stone wall looks good, but also helps the cedar, which the owners wanted to preserve.
Essentially what it does, it holds that massive root ball back from that cedar.
Dry stack walls drain naturally. Plants thrive because Hendrikus used his fertilizers and enhancers in the soil. And stones serve as steps, accents, even seats. This is what no front lawn looks like.
Well, personally, whenever I don't have to use a lawnmower, that's a good day, myself, So I like to create areas, that don't require one, but if they do, for clients to have an area they can hang out on or play on or have their dog play on, like this with the ball, then of course there's a balance.
There is a grassy lawn in back. That's for Captain, a golden doodle who puts it to pretty good use. But even with the narrow pathways alongside the house leading to the backyard, usually a no man's land, this has natural beauty.
6 months after Hendrikus left, it really looked like it had been here for 10 years. It was all really well grown in, and not overgrown, and just it looked like it, had matured already.
It's easy to see why this was one of Hendrikus' favorite jobs. He saved a tree, worked with tons of stone, ended up with a happy client.
Good, yeah.
And got to play with a dog.
Yeah, this is a real cool job.
There you go.
Now, the reason those plants survive between the stones and the pavers is because Hendrikus creates a healthy environment. He puts his structural soil, some sand, and his other products. They can actually take root and thrive in those places.
You know what I loved about that driveway? It's not just a showpiece. The plants are thriving in there despite the fact they drive on it all the time. I have an idea for a segment.
What?
Let's get some jackhammers, take out my whole driveway. We'll do it over there. Won't that look cool?
Notice how he said we. Who do you think will do the work? I doubt it. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the Sorrento Hotel, the fireside room. We're just relaxing, a little cup of tea, fireplace going on, and a little bit of trivia for you. Did you know that the original owners of the Sorrento traded this place for an Oregon orchard? Isn't that cool? And that orchard then turned into a multi-million-dollar business. You might know the name, Harry and David. Who knew?
Holy cow, I've gotten so many baskets of fruit from those guys.
Isn't that fun?
That is interesting. Wow. Hey, speaking of interesting,
Yes.
I hear that you got to taste all kinds of local cheese
I
the
did.
last time you shot with Lynne.
I know, I get all the plum assignments,
You
don't I?
get all the good ones.
It is easy, it's a great appetizer. Take a look. So when I lived in Germany, I did for a year. Anytime we had a special meal, they said, "What do you want?" And I wanted cheese and wine because I love it so much. So when I heard you were doing a cheese tasting today, I was like, me, I'll go. So I was so excited.
Awesome, cool.
Yes, so this is not, of course, it's Lynne. It's not your average cheese tasting.
Heck
We're
no.
pairing it with stuff.
We
Tell us
are.
what we got.
Well, what I did, Meeghan, is I took all local cheeses and I sort of lined them up. If you're putting together a cheese tasting or a cheese platter for a nice holiday or, for just entertaining, you want to have a little bit of taste of different, varieties. Right. So we're going to start from kind of the milder and we're going to work our way to the little more piquant. And then we're going to have a little taste, little palate cleanser, a little pairing with each other. Right? I know. I'm so excited for you to try. Okay, so this is a local goats. This is a goat and sheep's milk. It's from Teton Farms, which is in Yakima Valley. Let me get you a little bite of this. I love this because it's creamy and it's really lovely and mild. The sheep's milk kind of gives you a little bit of herbaceousness to offset the spice.
Kind of cuts through that a little bit.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
It's
and
very
then a little
creamy too.
Yeah, a little candied walnut with that. Just try a little bite with that. These are PCC makes these, so you got the creamy and the, isn't that fun?
Yep. Kind of clean that out.
Okay, so love this
was
one.
good.
This is Mount Townsend. This is from Port Townsend. This is their triple creme. So it's like a French chaours. This is their yummy holiday.
So this is
cheese.
what I had when I was in Europe.
And exactly. And this one is the rind is actually.
So you eat the rind too?
Yeah, I do eat the rind.
Okay.
On the rind ripened, I eat them. On the rind washed, I don't.
Okay.
So this rind is actually made with seaweed ash. So they put sea salt and seaweed ash.
She tells me when it's in my mouth.
No, well, that's good.
Okay.
It's part of the flavor.
Wow.
Wait till you taste this. Ooh. This is a Seville orange and fig preserve, specifically to go with cheeses. And that is just, to me, that's just glorious. Isn't that fun?
That is heaven.
Yeah.
Very good.
Now, this is, here again, this is Mount Townsend as well. This is what we call a tome, which is rind wash. So they wash it with a sea salt water. It gets a harder, deeper rind, and that allows the cheese to get to age longer, and you get more of a mountain style, almost like a Swiss style cheese.
A little firmer?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and, here again, this is a cow's milk.
Very good. And so mild.
Yeah. And then a little bit of quince paste with that. I love the mountain style cheeses with the quince paste.
And quince is a fruit.
It's a type of fruit, yeah. Classically served with cheeses in Europe. It's a
And so-
soft,
Normally you would think of taking a little cracker with little cheese and putting this on top. But,
Sure, absolutely. Whatever you'd like to do.
That's or just
Yeah.
cleanse your palate with it.
So if I were setting this up as a cheese platter, I would have a big basket full of breads and cheeses and then
Okay.
let people kind of compose. Okay, so this is one of my favorite little cheesemakers up in the Skagit Valley. This is a Samish Bay.
Ooh, yum.
And this is their 2-month aged Gouda, which I love. It's creamy. So, we've kind of gone through the
Right.
sort of, European style cheeses, and now we're getting to the little bit softer, milder, yummy, melty cheeses. And here
Oh,
again,
yeah.
lovely little touch of butter and some salt in there. Yeah. And then with that, I love the crunch, the kind of silky crunch of a little slightly sweetened almond.
Nice.
And then we kind of get down to
this is the Big Daddy.
the PAs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is from Rogue Creamery, which is in Oregon. They make a number of different styles of blue. This is their smoky blue, and they actually smoke it with hazelnut shells.
Oh, yum.
And then they wrap it in chestnut leaves.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
just a beautiful, beautiful little
I
cheese.
love blue
Yeah.
cheese.
Yep. And just a light smoke too. I love that they don't overly smoke it.
That reminds me of my grandmother's house because they always had Roquefort or
Oh yeah,
blue cheese.
love it. And so that, of course,
With pear.
little pear. And then you know what? Since it is, a bit of a celebration,
Oh,
I just I cannot imagine doing a blue without a little sip. And this is the Syncline Rosé, perfect with blues because it's got enough body. Beautiful with cheese, love it.
Here's to the next holiday party then.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much. Cheers.
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the Sorrento Hotel in Seattle. Meeghan, I have a great idea.
What's that?
Let's just shoot our show here from now on. It's so lovely here.
You heard it here first. He wants to sit on his bum the rest of his life. I never thought they could calm you down, but this has done it. Hey, our plant pick is the first of spring, one of the first bloomers. It's a dwarf version of a plant that Ciscoe can actually tolerate. Little Renee. Usually when I mention Forsythia, Ciscoe's like, no, stop! Because they just become mammoth and take over the world.
They're one of those plants, you buy them, they're this big, you put it in, you go in, have lunch, you come out, and it's 12 feet tall, 12 feet wide. How do they do it?
Great little yellow flowers, but
Yeah.
1,000 million gazillion of them.
Yeah, I love them because they bloom in spring, and they're that harbinger that spring's finally
Right.
coming because they bloom so early.
Look at little Renee, just kind of like the big guy.
Yeah, 2 feet tall.
That's it?
That's it. 2 feet tall, 4 feet wide if you let it, but you could prune it easy to keep it from that wide.
Full sun, I'm gathering.
Full sun.
And a nice spot nestled in between a whole bunch of plants.
Yeah.
Does this look good to you?
Yeah, that looks good.
Even in
Holy
this time
cats.
of the year, do we need to give it any fertilizer or is he okay?
I think these things grow so
Oh.
fast. Even though this only gets 2 feet tall, I don't want to take any chances with a stick.
That's true. That's because what if you're wrong?
Oh man, it's a brand new guy.
Yeah.
And they get great fall color. It's just starting to get fall
is
color.
that dark
Meeghan.
purple?
Yeah, it gets real
Look at
dark
how-
purple.
How pretty is
Then
that?
drops of leaves,
Yeah.
but then very early in the spring, it's gonna do its
Give
thing.
you your nice flowers that
All
we...
right, what do you think? Which side looks best here?
I'm thinking it needs to go like that.
That looks like that to
And
me.
that's a little low.
Whoopsie. There we go.
Yeah,
Won't this
I think
be
that's
cute here?
Yeah.
And I've got it around some evergreen plants that are going to get taller, so...
And I'm thinking some maybe little bulbs around the outside so that we can
what a
complement little
great
crocus.
idea.
Yeah.
I'll plant some blue crocus. They'll bloom the same time this does.
It's the yellow. So little Renee.
Little Renee.
She's been to etiquette school, this Forsythia.
I hope she has.
She doesn't eat too much or get too big. A little daintier.
Yeah, listen to her. You stay little.
No longer a thug. Anyway, so Forsythia, if you were afraid to put one in your yard like Ciscoe has sworn me off of, now's the chance.
Little Renee, she's going to stay little. I know she will.
So how did the little bugger do?
Well, she stayed really little and she's cute as can be, but she hasn't bloomed yet. But she's still a baby.
But she hasn't taken over the earth either.
No,
so
she hasn't taken over my whole garden. Hey, you know that the Sorrento Hotel is actually fashioned after the architecture in Sorrento, Italy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and there's a special lemon that's very famous there.
Oh, so there is a gardening tie-in to this.
Yeah.
We're here for a reason. Apparently that Sorrento lemon is one of the most fabulous there are. In fact, everywhere you go around the Sorrento, there are nods to the lemon. A little lemon drop, my friend. Thank you so much to the folks here for letting us hang out today. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's been just wonderful. If you want to see anything from this show, just go to king5.com.
Click on Gardening with Ciscoe. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Little lemon drop.
Yeah. Ooh.